Carolina Barbecue Festival's 5th anniversary will be the Queen City's biggest barbecue party yet. 30 pitmasters, 3 big events, and it all gets started with the barbecue brunch, brisket and biscuits. Expert barbecue pitmasters team up with Charlotte's top chefs to create a curated food event in partnership with Savor Charlotte. Brisket and Biscuits, March 28th at Town Brewing in Charlotte. Reserve your tickets right now at CarolinaBBQFest.org. To discover other features in Savor Charlotte's March culinary adventure, visit the Eat and Drink menu at charlottesgotalot.com. One of the pitmasters that'll be joining the Brisket and Biscuits barbecue brunch on March 28th is Madison Ruckel, food entrepreneur and founder of Mama Jean's Barbecue in Roanoke, Virginia. Mama Jean's was named in the Southern Living list for the South's best new barbecue joint and best barbecue joints in the South. That was in back-to-back years. You may have also seen Madison and the Mama Jean's team at Virginia ACC football tailgates, at the Southbound Festival in Birmingham, or on Instagram with Mama Jean's incredible food photos. If you don't follow them yet, you'll want to follow Mama Jean's BBQ on Instagram, spelled just as you think it would be. Mama Jean's BBQ. Go there, but get ready to get hungry because those photos are just that good. Madison, welcome to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show.
Thanks, Chigger. I appreciate you having me. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to join us. Now, I've introduced you to our audience, but I want to turn it to you. How would Madison introduce himself to our listening audience of barbecue lovers?
I'm just part of the team at Mama Jean's Barbecue. Literally just part of the team. They're there right now, turning it out, crushing a huge lunch. We're about to hit this huge snowstorm, ice storm. They're getting everybody all their food and everything, being there for the community when they need some food. I am literally just, I'm the main guy, but my mom, listen to that. My wife, my partner in this, she is she's the driving force, truly. She and I, we make a great team, kind of yin and yang a little bit. We disagreed here and there, and it kind of makes for a good dynamic. She stays on some things that I, need to focus on more, and vice versa. So I would say that I'm just a guy that from Mama Jean's Barbecue. We started as a food truck and Airstream back in 2018 here in Roanoke, Virginia. And we did that for about a little over 7 years. And this past year, we were able to open up, buy some property, and we bought it in 2023. In late 2025, we were able to finish and open up the restaurant. We have 55-ish seats inside and about 100 outside, and growing. It's looking good. It's got a lot of room to grow right now.
Yeah, wow, what a great introduction for you and the whole team there at Mama Jean's Barbecue. And we're going to look forward to learning more about that barbecue journey and Mama Jean's in this episode of the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. It's sponsored by the Carolina Barbecue Festival coming up April 17th and 18th in Charlotte's Victoria Yards. Tickets on sale right now at CarolinaBBQFest.org. Use promo code Low and Slow. That's all caps, all one word, Low and Slow. You'll get discounts on your passes for Friday night's kickoff with tastings from 5 Charlotte barbecue spots. You can get discounts on tickets for Saturday, the main event, 25 pitmaster stations offering all your favorite barbecue bites. And of course, you can do that today at just visit CarolinaBBQFest.org for tickets today. Low and Slow is the promo code you need to know. Look for more details at our blog as well and our website, lowslowbbqshow.com. That's where you can also sign up for our weekly newsletter, The Lowdown. We'll share the latest news from the Carolina Barbecue Festival and the Carolina barbecue scene. This year's Carolina Barbecue Festival begins with Brisket and Biscuits, the barbecue brunch at Town Brewing Company in Charlotte, March 28th, 11 to 3 p.m. You'll want to go ahead and get those tickets too, so you can guarantee yourself a chance to taste what Madison Ruckel is cooking up with Mama Jean's and his team. So you gave us a little bit of an introduction there, Madison. Mama Jean's, you got started in 2018 in an Airstream trailer. Now you've moved on into the brick and mortar. Tell me about the experience today when somebody comes to visit you in your brick and mortar location. What can they expect expect? How does the food ordering go down? And tell me about what I would see and feel and smell, all the good stuff if I walk through the doors there in Virginia today.
Well, thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate being on. We're excited about the festival, first of all, and we appreciate being a part of it. But if you come to Mama Jean's today, you'd walk in and there'll be two people, or sometimes one, but usually two people taking orders. Sometimes there's about 5 to 10 people in line typically. And so the line goes really fast. Other times there's, a longer line. It might take 20 minutes, maybe 30. We've really gotten the time down with adding 2 cashiers. But you would just come in and put your order in. Sometimes if the line's out the door, we do have a pavilion outside that's kind of built around that you can wait under, that has, a little bit of, some propane heaters and whatnot, just in case it gets too cold, and protection from the rain and whatnot. So we kind of have it set up for a small line. And then you just kind of get put your order in and get your seat. We only have 55 seats with an 8-seat bar inside, and it's real small, but it's going to be it'll flourish more in the spring and summertime and fall when we can have people outside. We have over 100 seats outside, so a ton of space for what we're able to put out. But obviously you wish it was a little bit bigger, but with the constraints from the city and keeping the footprint of the building the same without having to change, we'd have the amount of costs would have
that's all investment.
So we had to stay inside the building's framework. But we did an over $1.5 million build out, basically we did about an $800,000 build out, and we bought the property. So it was we had a lot going on, so we put a lot of money into it. We put a lot of time into it and energy. My wife and I are really expecting to make it a real destination location for Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And you mentioned the Airstream trailer, and that's kind of how you got your start. And tell me all about that. How did it get started up? And tell me about this particular vehicle, because it's got to be something cool.
It is so cool. It was part of a Hollywood prop for years.
Really?
My wife and I was part of Home Team Barbecue for 11 years. And my wife and I kind of she wanted to raise the kids in the mountains and
smart
and get out of Charleston. It was getting real crowded. And so we thought maybe we'll do our own thing, leave Home Team Barbecue and come up here. And so we did. And, it was just before COVID, and obviously we had no idea. So I was just online on eBay looking around, and I looked at food trucks, just thinking ideas. We thought we'd open a small restaurant, but then I looked at food trucks, and I found this thing for a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. And I said, "Hey, do you think a food truck would be a good idea?" And we thought it would. So I don't know why. I don't know what we were thinking. It was a great idea at the time because COVID hit, and we were able to stay mobile, which food trucks blew up during COVID, and it was a great for us. We really did great. And we would have been in some terrible location with possibly a inflating rent that we couldn't control, and that would have been a bad situation if you didn't have dine-in during COVID. So we dodged that bullet, and we did great through COVID, and we have been pinching pennies and trying to put this thing together to make it work and put our lives on the line just so we could build a restaurant. That's what we did. So it worked.
Yeah. So now, does the Airstream still go out into the world? Are you still running the food truck, or is it all focused on that brick and mortar?
Right now, the complete focus is on the brick and mortar. We're doing Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 7 currently. So we're looking to expand on the hours. Coming up in February, we're probably going to open up till 9 o'clock. And then with the food truck, it being from 1956 and having about 7 years of me running a food truck out of it,
beating it up.
Better left staying put at this point. You know what I mean?
So it's retired then, potentially. Semi-retired?
It's not retired, but it's going to see a new life. It's going to resurrect into looking like a bar possibly at night,
nice.
Outside bar, possibly some desserts maybe. A really good idea for it is to do a kind of, so if the line gets busy during the summertime, during Fridays and Saturday lunch, do just to go out there. So if you don't want to stay in line and do the whole rigmarole of the plate with everything presented and yada yada, you just want a to-go sandwich or something, you just go to the truck during the peak hours. And then another talk was doing breakfast taco joint out of there in the mornings. So it's going to see something really cool happen. It's just what exactly and when it'll happen, and hopefully all those things, different stages of the day or week or something like that. So
sure, lots of opportunity for sure.
Let me ask you this: cocktails at night would be cool.
Yeah, cool. So let me ask you this, Madison. Where did the name come from? Is there a Mama Jean, and where'd you pick that name from?
She was my mother. She passed away unexpectedly of a brain tumor in 2010, and we've just dedicated to her. She was not the best chef in the world. She was a single mom and raised me and taught me everything and was just great. And so I'm just honoring her. Everything in the restaurant has got her artwork is everywhere. She was an artist. Wow. So her artwork kind of adorns you can see some of the pictures online around it. So that's all her. A lot of it is her stuff. So it's been, and mixed with my like travels of concert posters and, some of my dad's stuff from, Willie Nelson days and cool stuff, just stuff from my life. Yeah, but my mom is the inspiration for it's named after her.
Well, what a wonderful tribute to her. That's so nice, and something that'll be a lasting sort of legacy for her. Talk about staying with the restaurant here. What do you feel like is your most popular menu item, both for meat and side? Well, let me back up just a little bit. How would you describe your barbecue? Where does it fit in the barbecue world, and maybe what sets your barbecue apart from other stuff?
Well, I think what sets our restaurant apart is that we don't do just barbecue. Like every day we do pulled pork, sliced brisket, mac and cheese, smoked potato salad, coleslaw, collard greens, pintos, and then banana pudding, vinegar pie, which nobody does. But we branch out and do all kinds of different specials. And like this week, we're making our own hot dogs. We get local bread and make cheesesteaks with our chopped brisket with local baguettes, which is just crunchy and delicious. We're doing a smoked meatloaf, smoked meatball, parm hoagie today with the local bread. Every day it's something. We do local chickens. We're doing local half chickens. I did a lot of local pork from Automala Farms here in Virginia, who make the absolute best pork in the area by far. They sell to all the Michelin star places. That is just top-notch pork. It's redder than the beef that I'm selling. It's insane. And we do prime brisket. So, but we have like a North Carolina style. So we are heavy on our specials. So that's what people come for. We are, and those branch out from Mexican to, Korean to anything. We do an Eastern North Carolina style pork, where we pull just butts, but we do a little bit of vinegar sauce with it that's sweetened a hair. So, but just a touch, and you wouldn't even know it's in there. And then we do charcoal ribs, direct heat. So that's South Carolina. So, and then we do Texas brisket, and so we really just bring things from everywhere. We don't say, oh, we're Texas barbecue joint, or I'm Texas this, or I'm Texas that, or I'm South Carolina this, or I'm Virginia that. It's just we're a melting pot, and I'm looking to if there's a better way to do it, I will find that and do it.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to operate successfully, especially those specials. And so I was going to ask the most popular menu item, but I'm almost inclined to think that depending on the special, that could be the most popular item on the menu.
For sure. Oh, every day it's the special. The special is the most popular menu item every day. I did have a few days back during the holidays when we were doing to-goes that mac and cheese was my number one selling item in total.
Yeah, wow.
The whole day.
Over the barbecue, over the
selling half pans. Yeah, just numbers wise. No, I mean, not real. Not. I mean, when you break it down into individual things, I mean, like, which it's crazy. It's crazy how much mac and cheese just during the Christmas, selling all the half pans and stuff. But I would say the most popular. We make our own bologna, we make our own hot dogs, we make our own sausages every day. A different sausage every week. It just rotates. So that's kind of our vibe, is that we try to make it to where you can come every day or every other day or every twice a week or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, just in case because I don't want to be that place. It's like, oh, it's barbecue and go once a month or something. I want to see people a little more often. You know what I'm saying? I need to make money.
Yeah. So I want to get to those soulful sides, and I'm going to talk about you and your background here in just a moment, but I want to stay with those sides. And if it's a soulful side, one of the most soulful sides I think of, Madison, is collards, collard greens. And I know they got to be popular there. We talked about that kind of in our pregame. Talk to me about your collards. I want to know, I want you to help our audience make collards like Mama Jean's
Well,
collards.
I would say mine are an inspiration from Home Team Barbecue, where I
Okay.
learned. They are similar to that, but I tweaked that recipe a good bit. And instead of using, I focus more with some stock. And instead of using a lot of bones that they use, the bones from the pulled pork, I use just some pulled pork. Hopefully left over. Sometimes now we've been so busy, we're having to just smoke pork just for the
Mhm.
sides and the pintos and the Brunswick and stuff, which is great feeling. Which typically we would use something that feels left over from the night before, right?
Right, sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's been great to go through all this stuff very quickly. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the collard greens, they're focused. They are a little bit sweet, but they're balanced with a heavy amount of vinegar and some hot sauce and salt, because some people don't salt things enough. I feel like that's pretty much the key to a lot of restaurants. It's just a little bit more salt. But yeah, these are really good collard greens, and we keep the rib on, so the stock. So we chop all the stock except for the bottom that's just stock. We cut that off, but everything else we keep the whole thing, and it's got a little bite, and it's got a little life to it. So that's where the more of the stuff that's good for you is too. You know what I mean? So it's good to have that fiber.
Yeah, the fiber and the vitamins that are in that good stuff
That's what I'm
too. Dark
saying. Yeah,
green.
yeah, we're pretty focused on our sides, to make sure they're all as elevated as possible, as good as we can make them. We make them fresh every day.
Yeah, and elevation and kind of taking these ideas from Home Team Barbecue and maybe other places you've learned is a nice segue to kind of talk a little bit about your background. Madison, hey, tell me about how you got started into the food world, I guess, first of all, and sort of your barbecue journey in brief that's brought you here to Mama Jean's in 2018.
I think, well, growing up in Destin, I could have two jobs. I could either go fishing and be out all night, or I could go work at a restaurant. And so I chose to work at restaurants or the beach. A lot of people go to the beach, but I didn't like to wake up early. So I started out as a busboy, and then I was in Italian restaurants as a waiter. And then I went to Johnson & Wales for a little while. That wasn't really my thing. I don't think Johnson & Wales in Charleston, South Carolina was I don't know. It was okay. But we went to Johnson & Wales for a little while. That wasn't really my thing. And then Home Team Barbecue opened up in Charleston in 2006. And I got hooked up with Aaron in that year. I started day 2 with him. I loved barbecue, but I had no idea how to cook it. And so we started doing that. Aaron had been on that journey for a while, but we kind of jumped on that journey together of growing into figuring out barbecue. Really, it was back in the early days for the new revolution of barbecue that is going on still today. That I'm just getting into, that I'm hoping stays going, but I think it will. It's such a great thing. But yeah, it was 2006. It's been a long time, 20 years almost.
Yeah, so getting started in 2006, working with Home Team Barbecue, apart from the collards recipe, what do you feel like you took away from that experience that's benefiting your current business?
Honestly, I put in so much sweat equity that I was able to buy in 2010, and I'm still an owner. And so getting that check every quarter has really helped my business, to be honest with you.
Sure. Hey, I mean, facts are facts.
Damn truth. Aaron Siegel has been doing such a great job with Home Team Barbecue. and Charleston just blew up after COVID. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
The West Ashley Charleston home team that I bought into back in the day has been doing so well that has carried my family through plenty of hard times trying to get this restaurant open. So I'd say that's the number one thing. But I got taught. Aaron Siegel and Taylor Garrigan taught me, work ethic and integrity in the work I'm doing, and how to do it right, how to do it. Just kind of, I'd say Taylor Garrigan, Aaron's right hand man
Mm-hmm.
and partner in Home Team Barbecue is probably the most underrated chef in the game. People don't really talk about him, but he is so talented. He does not look to be talked about. He doesn't care.
Sure.
He is so damn good. And he always taught me to just kind of look for, what's the worst thing on the menu, or what are we doing that we can just do a little bit better? Just look at everything, every little thing. And you just carry those little things that you learn every day with you that, he learned from, Mike Lotta. And so, you're picking up things from other people that were taught to other people that are super talented. So you just got to pick up and listen to these guys, maybe when you don't want to, and maybe when it's difficult at the time, you gotta really be open to, as a young chef, taking all those, all the direction that you're going to get,
Mm-hmm.
whether you want to hear it or not. A lot of times
Sure.
you don't want to hear it because it's not soothing to the ears to constantly be, double checking and reassessing what you're doing. But I think the without a better term, the micromanaging sometimes of Aaron and Taylor on some things is what taught me how to really be a good business person and figure out where the problems are and where I can do better. And I mean, I credit those two gentlemen for pretty much everything I'm doing right now.
That's extremely valuable. Great lessons to learn, especially as you're kind of forging a path out into a restaurant career. So certainly great things to take away from it. I look over here at the About page at mamajeansbbq.com. I see this list of things, Metopia in London, England. Man, that sounds like a fun thing. The Rib Festival in London. There's the Big Grill Festival in Dublin and the Jam Cruise. So it looks like you had a few years there where you're all over the world doing kind of some executive chef and or featured chef, I might say. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
That was awesome. That's great. I'm always open to travel abroad to cook. Brazil for churrascada. That's the highlight of my. That was 2014, 2015, something like that. Yeah, I flew out on Thanksgiving Day. That was awesome. London, I made some dear friends for life there. That is just, I love that place. They have an amazing culture there of food. That's really cool. That was the emergence of Instagram and like the beginning of like the global cultures coming together with barbecue. And we got in on that somehow. We met a guy who was in with some of the big barbecue guys who just knew the whole food scene over in London. That's my dog. She's not doing too great.
That's okay.
But yeah, we got in with a guy named DJ Barbecue, who's in with a bunch of folks down there. And we did the Rib Fest. We did, just a bunch of great events. Dublin, Ireland. Cooking for Widespread Panic in Mexico.
Oh, wow.
Cooking for Widespread Panic at Home Team. Cooking for Panic in Charleston, and doing bands and all kinds of different stuff. A lot of it just started with Home Team, and then I carried some of that on to Mama Jean's. I've cooked for the Redskins 3 or 4 times now. That's been probably one of the coolest things to do, is go see all those guys eat. Man, those guys.
I bet they eat.
Dude, the amount of food an offensive lineman eats is crazy.
Well, let's just compare there for a second. For an average catering event that you might do, how much would they increase that amount to fill all those linemen and the coaches and everything else?
50 guys, 50 or 75 people, and we bring food for 300.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it's gone. It's like, And whatever's left, we just give them because they'll just eat it. Like these guys will take, because what they do is they go. This is during the whatever the training camp. So these guys, that'll be an extended roster. Maybe there's 100 guys. 25 of these guys won't make the team, but they'll be there with like plates. Like plates, and they will be loading up, going home. Because they're going home
to go take it to the house.
They're just gonna go home and eat.
This is my parting gift.
It's awesome. It's so cool. They love it. They are so stoked when we show up. It's such a neat thing. It's really been a true pleasure to be able to cook for those guys.
Very neat. Now let's talk a little bit about the Brisket and Biscuits event with the Carolina Barbecue Festival. It's coming up March 28th. How did you get hooked up with Sweet Lou and all the gang with the Carolina Barbecue Festival?
I've known Lou for a few years through Tank Jackson and his boucherie, the Blood on the River down in Charleston. I think that's where I first met Lou, but definitely through Tank. And then we both did the ACC Network's tailgating event this year at the ACC Championship, and so that got us together on the same event. So we were just talking. And we tried to get some dates together, but that worked out. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get back down to Charlotte.
Very cool. And so again, we've kind of got pit masters paired with chefs in some of these orders, and looks like you're paired with Chris from Lallooya Hall, if that's the way things are going to shape up. Have you had a chance to talk with Chris at all and figure out what you guys are going to do?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, like I said, we just opened the restaurant a few weeks ago. So my time has been like literally completely uber focused on the restaurant, and then not when it's out of the restaurant, my kids, so I haven't even, but no, I'm sure we'll talk here soon.
What does a conversation like that look like? Would two chefy minds come together to have a conversation? How do y'all decide what you're going to cook?
Well, I did it for the, we do the same thing for the Southern, damn, these festival names.
the Southbound Festival?
No, the Southern Roots Festival in is that what it is, in Greenville, South Carolina in April? I think it's the Southern Roots Festival. Southern Roots Reunion. That's it.
Okay.
So we met, we do that event. That's the same thing they do there. Brenda Luganbill, who runs the Holy Smokes event for Home Team and Swig and Swine in Charleston, she runs this event in Greenville in April. It's also for charity. Great event. They do the exact same thing where we have to pair with the chef, and I've made a dear friend who runs Fork and Plow, Sean Kelly, amazing guy. So we've done 3 years together, 3 out of 4 years we've done that together. So we've become really close friends through that. And I hope Chris and I will as well. It's I'd say the first time is a little tough because you don't know them and you're like, you don't want to step on anyone's toes. You don't want to be rude, but it always works out because we're all a bunch of misfits anyway. You know what I mean? So, everything kind of works out, and I think I would be doing like a protein, and they would take care of the fixings or whatever. So it really works out well. And what I do, especially typically on events like these, is sausages. Sausage is one of my specialties. So
okay.
And then that's typically what I do at events. So if someone's not doing that, I might do that. Sometimes I'll make a bologna or whatever. I've done little mini hot dogs before. Those are fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting Chris.
Yeah, that'll be a great event. Again, it's at the Brisket and Biscuits Barbecue Brunch for Carolina Barbecue Festival, March 28th. It's at Town Brewing Company in Charlotte, 11 to 3. Going to be a big day. I think there's 8 chefs or 7 or 8 chefs all lined up, a couple of pairings of them. Again, Madison's going to be paired with Chris from Lallooya Hall. And as I know, that place, which is only a little, they're fairly new too, super duper brunch type fare that they're turning out of there. So you expect some cool brunchy type ideas from everybody contributing.
I love that.
Yeah. So let's talk, Madison, as we kind of wrap it up. I've asked you all the questions I've got on the top of my mind. I want to ask you, kind of as we close, what's something you want people to know more about? Is it you or your business, your family, anything else? What's something we haven't talked about that you want people to be aware of or know?
I would probably say that everything goes to me as far as like the glory of this business, but the unsung hero would be my wife, the person who's doing the hardest work and the one who's like really, sacrificing the most time with the children and just working her butt off, doing the front of the house, doing the numbers, doing our accounting, being our books, doing the books. And it's amazing watching my wife work and how hard she does it. And she doesn't get the credit, and it's all Madison. And that's not really probably a very good, that's not really true. It's my wife that's the one who's killing it, and I swear to you, there is no doubt in my mind that if it wasn't my wife and I paired up together, this would not be working out the same as it is for us right now, and it's going great. It's going really well. She keeps me focused. She keeps me kind of down to earth a little bit. Maybe when I get a little big head sometimes, she lets me know that maybe I need to just chill.
That's what you need in a partner in an adventure like this called life. Let me ask you, is she going to be coming to the barbecue brunch?
I don't know. We don't know yet. I don't know. It just depends on what's going on at that time. Probably not. I mean,
well, she's running the business and doing all the things. Well, Madison's getting all the glory out there, right?
Now it's hard. Yeah, now it's hard to go places. It's hard to do this. It's hard to do that. But that's a good thing, and it's a great problem to have. But 2027. Look out, we're coming together because we're going to let somebody else take care of it.
Yeah, that's a good plan to have. And so that gives everybody an idea out there in the world. Go visit Mama Jean's Barbecue. They're at Brandon Avenue in Roanoke, Virginia, and say thank you. What's her name, Madison, your wife?
Kelly.
Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly Ruckel.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for what you do. So go tell Kelly thank you when you go to visit Mama Jean's next time.
I love it. Thank you.
Now, I know you've given a lot of credit to her, and it's well-deserved, but as we kind of close it here, Madison, what keeps you and maybe you and her, y'all's fire burning in the barbecue journey that you're living?
We're trying to leave something good for our kids to take on. That's really it. We just want to set the example for our two young, we got an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old, and we want to just show them that the American dream is still alive. You can still get out there and work your butt off and make it happen and play the game and pay your dues, pay your taxes, do what you got to do, and do it the right way, and it'll happen. And it takes a long damn time, but you can do it. And that's why we're doing it. We're just, we're trying to, we want to make a living for ourselves, of course, but we're here doing this for our kids.
And that, my friends, is the final word, a great final word from Madison Ruckel with Mama Jean's Barbecue and Soulful Sides in Roanoke, Virginia. Madison, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Chigger. Appreciate you guys.
You are welcome. The pleasure was ours. Thanks, everybody out there, for listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, sponsored by Carolina Barbecue Festival, April 17th through 18th in Charlotte's Victoria Yards. Details, tickets, all that at carolinabbqfest.org. Remember the promo code Low and Slow, all caps, all one word. You've been listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show on the Mesh.tv network of podcast, where our producer, Andrew Moose, makes us sound good every episode. Thanks so much, Mr. Moose. I want to invite everybody to be sure and visit the Low and Slow Barbecue Show website, lowslowbbqshow.com. We've got our blog with festival and event details. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter. We've got all the Carolina barbecue news, fundraisers, food trucks, all the events, all that stuff in your email inbox every week. Sign up at lowslowbbqshow.com. While you're there, you can also browse our library of podcasts, all 4 seasons, including conversations with other brunch participants like Matthew Register, Jake Lawrence. You mentioned our man Tank Jackson. He's on the podcast library too. And of course, Lewis Sweet Lou Donald is there too. You can find it all at lowslowbbqshow.com. For the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, I'm Chigger Willard, reminding you that for the best barbecue and the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.
Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.